I see you, can you see me? I bet a lot of you thinking, well, of course I can see you. But can you really see me? When I walked out here, many, if not all of you, would have took that 30 seconds to analyse how I look, how I'm dressed, my body language, and anything from my overall appearance. And you would use that to create your own personal idea of who you think Tegan really is. And with the power of imagination, you would have come up with a different idea to the person sat next to you. But there should be a few things in common. That being the basics. I'm black, I'm young, I have a mixed heritage, and hopefully not too badly dressed. And the most obvious is that I walk and talk differently to most of you. And I'm sure you're very curious to know why. One of my favourite things to do is to explain my disability to people and seeing the difference in reaction. I was diagnosed with quadriplegic cerebral palsy at birth, which means I have difficulty moving in my arms and my legs. People who were diagnosed with this type of cerebral palsy do not experience paralyzed muscles. Instead, they have jerk motions, which are caused by stiffness in all four limbs. I describe it as being as stiff as a tree. Now, I would like to try something with you all, so that you have a better understanding of what I mean. If you can you please stand now? A lot of you. Okay, now I want you to put the weight, or your body weight, on the front of your feet. It's kind of on the toes, yeah? And I want you to stiffen every muscle from your toes all the way up to your jaw, like you're turning into the Hulk. And now I want you to lift your arms and try and high-five someone next to you while still keeping that tension. It's difficult, right? Okay, you can all sit down now and relax. It feels good to relax. Unfortunately, I don't get that pleasure. The tension that you just experienced is what I fight against every day, all day. Some days I can just about cope, while others I struggle to get out of bed because I'm so tight and rigid. I also have dystonia, which can be more funny. Dystonia causes my muscle to contract involuntarily and uncontrollably. It causes a similar thing to a tic, but much bigger. I mainly get it in my right arm, and that's because I'm left-handed, so I don't use my right arm that often. So much so that I often forget that it's actually there. My right arm definitely has a mind of its own, and I like to think of it as the evil mastermind waiting. It really is. Waiting to cause trouble at the worst times. It likes to hit things over, it spills drinks, it punches people. Seriously, it does. I mean, I've even punched myself, so you can see how crazy my arm is. I bet a lot of you are thinking, it's difficult being disabled. And don't get me wrong, it is. But because of that assumption, people don't always know how to act. People, to this day, still treat me as an incapable 5-year-old. People apologise and pity me for the life that I have to live. Seeing disabled is such a bad thing. And unfortunately, some still see my colour too. That's the reaction that I usually get from adults. My favourite ones are the ones that I get from children. Children are able to use their imaginations in different ways to how adults do. And they come up with their own ideas to how I became this way. I've had a little boy run up to me and ask me, "What is your superpower?" Another boy asked me if I was a robot. My favourite one is when I told the little girl about my disability. And she stopped me and said, "No, you're wrong. You don't have cerebral palsy at all. In fact, you were caught in a house fire." She was very serious about it, and she explained how I was safe from the house fire, but it damaged my arms and my legs. She won't take no for an answer. I tried many times. But I love how children are able to find the positive side in things and add humour and to not let things get in the way. God, got my line. Thank you. I got it now. One thing that I realised is that, and struggle with is that it's difficult to love and accept who I truly am when people are often judged by what is on the outside rather than what is on the inside. Why is that? One thing that helps my condition is horse riding. The movement of the horse I'm riding allows my body to relax, stretch, be strengthened, and overall exercise while still having fun. And after 14 years at Avon Riding Centre, it's still my favourite thing in the world, but for different reasons. As a kid, I struggled to fit in, and I couldn't do what all the other kids were doing. But riding gave me the freedom that I so desperately crave. Nowadays, riding is more than just a physical freedom. It's also a mental freedom. It allowed me to forget everything that's been going on, to release the emotions that I've held on to, and to conquer new challenges. 10 years ago, I started dressage. And for those of you that don't know what that is, dressage is the art of riding and training a horse in a manner that develops obedience, flexibility, and balance. Or as I like to call it, ballet on a horse. You have to keep a clear mind while competing. After all, anything can happen. You're riding a wild, live animal, and anything could go wrong. I found this out in 2013, when I was competing at a National Championships. It was my first one after having surgery, and I was riding a horse that was known to cause trouble, unfortunately. We were doing everything amazingly, and I was sure that I was going to win. And then, for 1 second, I got distracted. And in that second, something in the audience scared my horse. And that was it. Zoom, off we went, flying around the whole place, knocking everything down. Thankfully, I managed to stay on. But let's just say we didn't win that year. I bet a lot of you are thinking, she'd be crazy to get back on that horse. That's what I thought, my coach thought, and my mum thought. But 10 minutes later, I got back on, and I rode her again. Because I chose to ride her again, I was later scouted and selected to join the British Dressage Team, where I'll be training to compete in the Paralympics in the near future. Thank you. It's going to be a long and tough journey, but I know that I'll get there, because after all, anything is possible. And by following my video that I create on my YouTube channel, you'll all be able to follow me to completing my dreams. Now, as I come into the end of my talk, I would like to ask you all to find your inner child. Don't be afraid to ask questions, but not just the serious ones. Ask the ones that your inner child would. And don't let your adult filter take control of you. Yes, I have a disability, and yes, it is challenging. But after years of accepting it, I now see that it makes me who I am. I wouldn't be who I am or where I am today if I didn't have it. But that being said, it's only a part of me. I am not just my disability. I am me, Tegan Vincent-Cooke, a young, black, disabled, well, hilarious, entrepreneur, YouTuber, and soon-to-be Paralympian. I see you, and now you can see me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.